Hello and welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name is Corey. It is Saturday night, and you know what that means, everybody. It's time for Cyber Samurai Saturday! We're playing Legend of the Five Rings. Blood of the Lioness is over. Apparently, we finished it off, but there are some loose ends that the Game Master has fed us, and he wants to make sure that we go ahead and tie up those loose ends. And one of those loose ends, I think, has to do with the Snow Maiden. He'll tell you more about that in a second. But before that, I'd like to thank our patrons scrolling in the upper right-hand corner. Thank you, patrons, for paying us to roleplay. And then you can watch the wonderful results. And we have beautiful maps. And we have this software. It's all because of you. Thank you. Hey! My name is Corey, and I'm playing Soshi Takeru. Yes. Oh, he's a sneaky scorpion, and he will get you in your sleep.
What he gets you in your sleep may be a flower, might be a dagger in your heart. You never know.
You never know. It's always a surprise with the Takeru.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
Playing Ikoma Sayuri is Crystal.
Beautiful courtier, yes.
Extraordinaire.
Talented ikebana artist, yes.
And quite
Allowed
possibly the most
skills?
common sense intelligent person in the group.
All right. Playing Seppen Kinjiro is Tariq.
He is an addict, as we learned in court yesterday, and also probably the person closest to Takoro and the person who betrayed Takoro in the last game. To hear that there is a good point from the kid over here who likes feet, dead feet.
Thank you for adding that last part. That makes it sort of better.
Playing Kitsu Geriko is Sasha.
The party mascot and hi.
Yeah.
Mascot.
And the one leading the way in this Coda.
Yeah.
Playing,
And sir, not appearing right now is Matt.
yes, playing Goseki no Matsu Takeo is Matt. Sound the
Who's
crickets.
currently invisible.
I don't know what happened to him. He was here a second ago, and now he's...
He said he'd be right back. He had to deal with something with his parents, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll...
He's
But him being here and not being here, not that important at this moment.
Mom, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons! Come on!
Stop throttling the Wi-Fi.
And, of course, our glorious Game Master is James.
Accurate.
It's all yours, James.
Also known as the half-ass GM of the Order.
It's all yours, James. Take it away.
Right, so last time we ended everything with the Blood of the Lioness. You got through with what you actually wanted to do, even with Keitako throwing a slight monkey wrench at Takoro's plans. It still went the way he wanted. But planted seeds that maybe the Imperial family will do something nice for the Lion clan in the near future, because they did get screwed in the Battle of Snow Plains. So at this point, you guys are going to be leaving Swift's Castle of the Swift Sword, traveling along the Drowned Merchant River, and when you get to, I think the map says Toshi Ranro or something like that.
No, Toshi Ranbo.
Ranbo. Okay,
Toshi
it's very
Ranbo.
blurry, so it's hard to read.
No worries, I got you.
And you'd be getting off of the boats there with Kage and Rokuken waving goodbye at that point, since they're going to be traveling up the northern branch of that river back to Phoenix Lands, and they'll be dealing with the rumors of foreign and spirit beasts up in the Phoenix Lands, as well as their own reports from the Wheel of Judgment.
We're splitting up.
And you'll be heading south to this mountain right here.
Oh, right.
I was actually
Where there is a
Came with us.
village up in the mountain that provides a lot of the iron that the Kitsu family uses. And the rumors have been saying that there's a snow maiden there. And, well, in L5R, snow maidens aren't always a bad thing. They sometimes help guide people from winter things and back to their villages and the like, or help keep them warm through the day or through the cold night so that they can be found the next day. So they're not always considered a bad spirit in Rokugan, but so far the rumors aren't quite matching up with what at least Katiko would know about snow maidens. For one, it's summer. Snow maidens don't appear unless it's winter normally. And second, all of the reports have been saying that people have gone missing as a result. No one has come back saved by them. So these are some oddities with these rumors. And you travel up a path to a mining village. In this mining village, it is maybe 100 people all told, most of them working in the iron mines. A few are working some rice fields and things to help keep the village fed, but a lot of the food is brought in whenever they come to take the iron away. And you approach, you're all obviously samurai, or at least of the samurai class. So the whole village comes out, and first thing, I'd like everybody to give me a roll on something for awareness and knowledge of villages.
Culture.
Yeah, that'll work. So everybody give me rolls on that. This is a TN1 because it's
Depending on
pretty easy
what
and obvious.
kind of thing you're looking for. It could be culture, it could be labor.
Yeah, it could be labor.
It's a knowledge about the population of the village versus the number of buildings here.
Okay,
Government?
that seems like, yeah, culture or government.
That sounds good.
Either one works for me, and it's still a
I'll just
TN1.
use culture.
Okay.
I'm going to use my opportunity to negate the strife that I got on this roll.
Fair enough.
You said it was TN1?
Yep.
Yep. Are we looking for extra info based on extra successes, or is this just a flat succeed or fail?
Extra successes might give you a little more detail in what I'm about to say, but it's mostly just a flat.
Okie dokie.
All right, so first off, Katiko, how do you want to use your one opportunity?
If I remember, I could use an opportunity to get information.
If you had
Right?
two of them, yes.
If I had two, okay. I was just scrolling through the opportunity list, but I can only ever find the new opportunity list. And I have no idea where the old one is.
The old one is in the scroll menu.
Oh, right. You have to open up the thing that says player
Oh.
journals now.
There it is. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll just bank it then, since I don't think I can do anything with only one.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot there. Sayuri, same question.
I'll just bank my one.
Okay. Takeo, your one, you're using to eliminate the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Tokoro got two there, that up, and Kenjiro, you got three. How would you like to use those?
So I will use them for the. I'm going to use two for information and one for recovery. Get rid of 2 on my stripe.
Okay. Well, at this point, because you had plenty of rest and a long trip here, you guys should not have any strife or fatigue at this point, and we're going to go ahead and say your void's all reset too.
You have a button for that.
Wonderful.
There's a button that'll reset everything. It's a start of game button. It's one of those in your little GM toolbar kind of thing down there.
If that's the case, then I might do this.
You did it.
There's
Perfect.
under void. There's a general use opportunity thing where it says feel a chill down your spine, notice a sudden silence, or detect another sign of supernatural if there is a supernatural disturbance to be seen. Extra opportunity gives an increasingly precise location of the supernatural occurrence. So I'll spend my 3 opportunity into that. If there is something to be found, I'll feel it out. If not, then no worries.
Okay. Then for you, the gentle snowfall that is occurring right now is definitely supernatural in origin. And currently you feel that the point that it is starting from is coming somewhere above the mines in the mountain.
Okay.
And for, let's see, how many got more than 1 success? Looks like Takoro and Sayuri were the only ones. Okay, so everybody else, this is obviously fewer people than this village should be able to support based upon the number of buildings. You don't have specifics, whereas for both Corey and Crystal, you guys, this is about a quarter less. And they can't be up in the mine right now. The mine foreman's right in front of you.
A quarter less, so 75%?
Yeah. There's about 75 villagers that have turned out to greet you properly, with only the village elder and the mine foreman remaining fully standing. Everybody else is down in full kowtow, bowing to you guys, while those 2 are doing very deep bows. So what do you guys do in return?
I was kind of hoping that along the journey with Rokukin and I forgot the other guy's name.
Kade?
Yeah.
Kade.
That Kaito might have been able to pick their brains a little bit more about the Snow Maiden potentially, but I'm not sure if that's possible.
Kage would have some information, but not a huge amount. Whereas Rokukin, being a lore master of the Phoenix, where snow maidens normally appear, knows quite a bit more. What questions did you have for him?
My question has to do with if they know the realm of origin that snow maidens tend to come from.
They tend to come from the realm of waiting more than any other, though sometimes they do come from the realm of the hungry dead.
Okay.
And more often, they don't come from the heavenly realms. They just come from Rokugan itself.
Oh.
The majority of them are from Rokugan itself, according to Rokugan.
The realm of Earth is Ningendo.
Yeah, Ningendo would be the realm of Earth.
So essentially, they'd be like a spirit that passed on in the mountains and turns into that yokai, or
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, majority of them are former people who died in a snowstorm and came back. And according to Rokukin, most of the time, those versions primarily just try to help people not suffer the same fate. The vengeful ones tend to come from the realm of the hungry dead, and then there's a few that come from the realm of waiting. And those tend to just not really bother anyone. They wander around in snowstorms and kind of act as a warning of how bad the snowstorms are. Like, you see one of those, you best take shelter.
So we can assume that this one more than likely might be from the realm of the Hungry Dead.
Which is Gakido, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
But but also Rokukin cautions you a bit, saying that this is summer. Snow maidens shouldn't be here during summer. You might not be dealing with a Yuki.
Could there be such a thing as a frost oni, or one that's associated with winter?
Some can control the weather and might do that because it's different from where they're from. After all, Kage and Rokukin would attest that Jigoku was quite warm.
There was that one part that was pretty cold, but other than that, yeah.
Since this is within Kairiko's realm of like study, is there like a check I could make to see if she could recall information about other things that could have such an effect? Like a theology check, maybe?
Yeah, theology works.
Awesome.
In fact, that would be the perfect skill to go for this. Culture might, but it'd be a lot harder. For this, I'll say TN2.
Also, during our travels, I don't remember where I kept like my the count of like how much my character should have on his purse right now. But I'm assuming that during the trip, like since we're dealing with a spiritual entity, I probably bought like maybe 1 or 2 fingers of jade for protection at least.
You should have under your inventory, under personal money, Koku, Boo, and Zenny. And a finger of jade. How much does that cost?
Excellent question.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I have 5 koku.
That's actually a good idea to buy something like that before you go on this trip. So, let me look that up for you.
Thank you.
For Keitako with her role, Sorcerer Oni, some kinds of spirit beasts, basically any kind of sorcerer spirit could also be along those lines. Could be a witch.
Okay.
What's the... Yeah, it is a rarity
242.
6. It's 1 Koku, rarity 6. So it's up to the Game Master whether it's available.
You can buy one.
Okay.
Well,
All
Like,
right.
as a
I'm
group?
taking off a koku, and I am going to
It's page 242,
add
by
that
the
to
way.
my items.
Was there anything else there, Sasha?
nope. Thank you. That's all I wanted.
A good majority of the ones that wouldn't be Oni or various spirit beasts are unlikely just because missing people.
Yeah.
It would take something that's actively malicious to be making people missing.
Right.
So it could be a sorceress Gaki, could be an Oni, could be some other kind of spirit beast thing, but it would not. It definitely, with the missing people, is not a pleasant one.
A sorcerer's gaki. Since I'm kind of new here, I just want to clarify it. Would that be like a Shugenja that died, like spirit or something?
Could be, yeah, or it could
Okay.
be a spirit that learned magic
That learned
after
magic.
dying.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Gaki just assumes that the spirit was vengeful. They're the
Okay.
hungry dead, and they
Gotcha.
are hungry for vengeance.
Matt?
Or for life, or light, or warmth, or
Hungry for justice.
Matt had a really
Yeah.
great idea, and I'm wondering if I can get in on that jade finger as well, or is there
Same,
just
same.
I think we're all wondering it and just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
well, for the scorpion, the price is doubled.
Okay,
But you can buy one.
I'll pay 2 for one from the black market.
Can Jiro get one?
Half a koku for you because you are a seppen.
How much does it cost Kaediko?
Standard, and you can buy as many as you want. This is part of your tools and trade.
Awesome. I'll pick up one for Sayuri.
Jade Finger.
So Sayuri doesn't even have to buy one.
That's
Kaediko
kind of
decides to do that for her.
Yeah, she just decides to pick up 2 just in case.
Oh.
Probably not a bad idea. Because if you're dealing with malicious in any way, it's obviously likely to be tainted.
Generous.
And a finger of jade is great against that.
Hold on.
Well,
I think
I figured...
Crystal
ahead.
wanted to say something. Go ahead.
I said, thank you. That is most generous.
Well, I figured since this was sort of my errand, it was the least I could do. Try to help out a little bit. Since you were all being so generous as to accompany me.
Could you get your mic closer to your...
Oopsie. There we go.
There you go.
If you're going to whisper talk.
Sorry.
And Corey, you might want to turn Crystal up or move her mic a little closer to her, one of the two. She's a little soft, not by much.
Yeah, I'm turning her up a little.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, she's still
That's
up.
good. Right, so the entire village has turned out with the mine foreman and the village elder remaining standing, everybody else full kowtow and bowing to you. What are you doing?
Give them the appropriate little thank you for your respect.
Mm-hmm. Like Takeo also does a slight bow, like acknowledging them.
Yeah, same thing.
Once all of you have acknowledged the act of respect, the entire village moves to sitting position and the elder and mine foreman go back to full standing, though their heads are still bowed.
Kaediko, your lead.
Kaediko will step up then and give a polite little nod of her head and say, "We are here because of the rumors of the Snow Maiden. I don't suppose you have any information that you could give us that may help us on our search?"
Of course. We first thank you very much for coming. And it has taken 20 of our village already. We have had to stop the mines as a result. Anyone who goes up to the mines is in danger of being taken. It seems like it mostly happens on the new moon. Do not know why, but we lose more people than any other time. Though some go missing every day this past month. Thank you so much for coming.
You mentioned the mines. Is that where most people have been going missing?
In that area, yes. In that area, yes. Though a few others on the path to or from bringing food have gone missing as well.
Well, then we have a pretty good starting place, I would say.
Thank you again, and may the Kami watch over you.
I'm a little unfamiliar with proper decorum and procedure, so you'll have to pardon me if I'm a little awkward. But I assume Kaediko would perform the proper thank you for the information. And look to the rest of the group to see if anyone else had any questions.
I believe we should head toward the mines.
What kind of moon is it going to be tonight?
The new moon was a week ago, so it's just barely starting to wax again.
Okay.
It's like at most a quarter moon.
Since she's asked us that to ask a question, I will ask one. I will say, it appears this village has lost a great deal of people, or am I mistaken?
Yes, it has taken at least 20 of us.
That is quite a bit. Yes, this is quite a vehicle indeed.
We are hoping you are able to find at least some of them still alive.
What would be the normal targets for this spirit?
Except on the new moon a week ago, it was whoever was alone up there. If they were traveling the path alone in the area of the mine, they disappeared. And it has not stopped snowing for a month.
Well, one thing I would definitely recommend at this point in time is to travel in groups and not to go alone any place else. And also, like, trying to make sure that the rest of our group, kind of considers that bit of advice.
Keep that thought in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Always use the buddy system.
Don't be alone. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
If the disappearances coincided with the start of the snow,
All right.
or did one happen before the other?
You and Scooby.
And one happened first.
You and Scooby, you go that way. Velma, you go that way. I'll take Daphne.
Are you taking Daphne?
Hey,
Daphne.
you even got the same number in this group to do that. I'm betting Matt is Scooby. And Tarek's Shaggy.
I totally thought you were going to say
Corey's already declared himself Fred.
I thought you were going to say that
I'm
Matt
Velma.
was
Hey,
Daphne,
gang, we got a
and I was going to
trap
laugh.
to get.
Well, I guess since he said he was taking Daphne, I'm okay with that.
See, that's why I thought James was going to say that Matt was Daphne, and I was going to laugh at that one. I was gonna be like, oh, I like where this is going.
Just because I'm a red.
Motivated.
The mine foreman volunteers to bring his assistant with him to show you the path up to, since the snow would be hiding most of the path.
I have
Oh,
one
and
more.
did they finish the statement on which one happened first?
Yes, a young woman went missing first, but she hadn't been in the village long. She came in a couple weeks before disappearing.
I do have a question. Should we need it, is there a place that we could call refuge here within the village, or use as a base of operations while we do our investigation?
You could stay in my house, says the village elder.
Oh, well, that might be quite an
I would be honored if you did.
That would be that could be quite the imposition, but if that is the case, we would, of course, be willing to make some form of repayment for your hospitality, some acknowledgement of the kindness that you're bestowing upon us.
She bows her head in acknowledgement of that very kind comment. Considering they're commoners, you could have just taken over her house and she wouldn't have been able to say shit anyway.
Yeah, but Stepin Kinjiro is so honorable that he's looking to honor the people who blow his station. You know what I mean?
I'm not
She
doing
doesn't
anything.
refuse the idea of a gift for this, and pretty much acts like she never heard that phrase.
Fair enough.
So if you leave a gift, she'll accept it and take it, but she's not asking for one, and in no way is making it seem like a commoner expects a gift from such as you. But you can tell this elderly woman is kind of tickled by your comment.
Oh no, she's got the hats.
Uh-oh. Kenjiro has a type.
Kinjiro is a strong-chinned young gentleman. Let's put
Oh
it that way.
god.
And he's looking for a well-seasoned cougar.
I didn't say all that now. Jesus. Well-seasoned. God damn.
Well-seasoned cougar.
Well-seasoned peasant cougars in your area.
Careful,
It's on that mailing list.
seeks
Some
Imperial
of those
Chad.
might be actual animals.
This is not what I signed up for.
Just as I like
It's
them.
a
Mustache
cougar. A
rise.
cougar turns up for that date with a salt lick. Well seasoned.
Thought we would show up for gyros.
So, first you are taken and shown where the house is in case you wish to rest and refresh yourself after your trip.
Yes.
Not that you really need it. It's like you haven't been traveling that long. The trip from Toshi, whatever that is,
Fishy Runbo.
was Ronbo is less than half a day.
Hey. If
So-
I was not offered such a thing, there would be it hits on my disadvantage, so I'd have to do something.
He'd have
But
to freak
you
out
are shown the
about
house, shown where the water is brought in case you wish to freshen up. There's a roaring fire going in the house. It's actually quite nice for a commoner's place. Very well kept, well maintained, and with sturdy walls. There are paper interior walls, but all of the external ones are solid wood.
Sounds good.
And it's actually a 3-story house.
I look at the Matsu and go, perhaps to ensure that we can save room or conserve room and not take over the entirety of this woman's house, the two of us can find boarding together, as well as Ikoma-san and Kitsu-san finding boarding together, and that would just leave Soshi-san to have a nice room for himself.
Oh, you know me so well, brother.
I'm not against it.
The village elder apologizes and says that she doesn't actually have that many rooms available. Well, several other villagers do stay with her, and she is also the village healer, so she has a couple rooms set aside for those who've been injured or are sick. But her top floor, which has 3 rooms in it and a common area, is available.
I see.
That's perfect. 3 rooms.
That's plenty.
That's exactly what we were saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
2 in one, 2 in another, and me in one in the last one because I am accustomed to luxury.
Exactly. And Stephen Kinjiro knows that, which is why he's allowing his brother to take a big room, even though he's technically the Imperial.
He doesn't want.
Either way, my twin snores.
I was gonna say he doesn't want to hear him bickering all night.
This is actually
This pillow is
actually-
rock solid.
My tentacle mask is actually a sleep apnea mask.
You hope
really stop my drink there, boy.
so it starts whirring and forcing air into your mouth.
And the tentacles start undulating. It's like
Gently flowing in the wind.
And because of the studs on it, it starts sounding a little bit like a bagpipe. Anybody who's looking around the house before you get to the rooms in the water and freshening up and all of that and taking a little rest before you go up, anybody who's looking around, give me a sentiment check.
I am
TN of 1.
on that.
okay. Might as well look around. I'll use survey. So water.
Yeah, that makes sense to use survey. You said what kind of check?
And you'll get slightly different information depending upon which ring you're using.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
using
go
analyze.
TN?
1.
TN 1.
Where is survey? I
Survey
can't
is
find it.
water.
It's water.
Oh, this is a sentiment check.
Yep.
Finalize that.
Probably don't need that many successes, but you know what? I'll err to the side of caution for this one. I'll use the opportunity I got to negate 2 strife from my roll. So I'll just keep 1 strife.
Oh, Kinjiro did air 2. I should have done void then.
I'm doing void. You said it was TN1?
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's fitting for Keiko.
She just falls asleep. She's like, oh, nice warm house.
Oh, I should have used my curiosity advantage to re-roll 2 dice. Oh well. Oh no, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't re-roll dice. It gets rid of strife, but I don't have any strife except for the one I just gained, so I'll just lose that because this is definitely a curiosity thing.
All right. We'll start with going through this just based upon where it ended up in the chat log. Kenjiro, you got 2 successes and an opportunity. What you use on the opportunity on? Just canceling that strife?
No, I'm going to use the opportunity to... So I know this isn't a samurai that I'm dealing with, but I still want to identify a bit of information about the person that I'm dealing with. I'm going to spend it on trying to figure out what this person fears might be a failing of themselves, or like what they feel their duty is and how it's best represented in the home.
Which is it, fear or duty that you're wanting?
Let's say duty.
Okay. She is the village elder. She is to lead these people and be the main interface between nobility and them.
Okay.
The mine foreman kind of shares that with her because she is, at this point, a bit elderly. And with Analyze, what you get is that the house is well built, well kept, and well organized, with everything having a place, and it is in its place. She does not suffer mess in her place ever. She's very tidy.
And I will ensure that I am also very tidy to keep up the...
And with the extra success, you notice that there's lots of different little figurines, but you don't really note much of a detail on them other than they're there.
She's like my grandmother who collected Hummels.
Aw.
For Takuro, basically the same thing. It's a very well built, very well kept, very neat place with no speck of dirt anywhere. There are lots of little figures in things in little places, but they all seem to have a specific place they're supposed to be.
Right.
These figurines.
Then to the third brother, Takeo, who got a lot of successes and
I'm also going to try to. I negated 2 of the strife with the opportunity, but I'm also going to be like kind of planning out like bug out routes or escape routes, like out the windows or like off to the rooftop, just in case something happens.
If a peasant uprising happens and they come after me, how am I going to...
Well, that survey is perfect for that. Survey lets you know that this building is reinforced, has enough room in it that if all of the villagers needed a place to go and be packed in but safe, they could do that here. There is a basement. You haven't gone and looked down in there, so you don't know if there's any escape routes through the basement, but you do note there is one. There's the 2 floors. The first floor has no windows whatsoever. The second 2 floors do have them, but they are currently closed and fully shuttered, and even have an interior board shutter put in because of the unnatural snow going on.
And we wouldn't want the house to be unnecessarily colder than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. And the fireplace is in the center of the building with its flue going right through the middle so that all of the heat comes off, and each floor has an opening for it into a common area. And the stairs are actually built around this chimney, which is like the only part of the house that is made of stone, besides the tiled roofs. And as far as exit routes, well, if you're on the 2nd or 3rd floor, there's plenty of them. From the 1st floor, there's the front door and the back door. And that's what you get.
So there's a little bit of a bottleneck on the ground floor, but like it makes sense.
Yeah, it's more intended for defense than being able to get away in its method of construction.
Understood.
Sayuri, you got 2 opportunity. What are you using them for?
Yes, I was going to use them to spot an interesting physical detail in the environment not related to my check.
Okay.
Which is basically everything you've been saying to everyone.
Yeah, you got a lot of the same info that I've given and to Takeo because you have the same survey thing.
Yeah.
You got the general layout of the place. You got where the rooms are and all of that sort of thing. You also, with those 2 opportunity, getting something a little beyond and that may or may not have to do with this, you realize that the stone house next to this is the mine foreman's house and also used as the warehouse for the iron ore.
Okay.
And some of these little figurines and things seem a little more significant to you than some of the others. Specifically the ones around the fireplace and on the mantelpiece. There's something about them that's obviously more significant to the village elder than the rest of them. And Keitako, you're kind of blindsided by all the figurines and kind of lose track of what you were trying to figure out. And what would you like to use the 2 opportunity for?
I was also going to do information. I did do a void check, so I'm wondering if there's maybe a memory that Kaito has that might be relevant. Otherwise, whatever you think might be best.
Okay. The Shugenja who trained you in how to be an exorcist and to deal with the dead that haven't left, also had a lot of little figurines, and this caused you to go back to some of your training days and remembering those. They weren't that long ago for you, but you still remember them quite fondly. And in fact, that figurine in the center on top of the mantelpiece, your mentor had the exact same one in appearance. A little kitsune with 3 tails, looking very happy and like it's ready to greet whoever's directly in front of it.
Aww.
Also with Void, I'm going to say even without having a success, some of these figurines have power to them. They're basically little charms.
Interesting.
So obviously this village elder either has some connection with the spirits and is able to make them, or she knows someone who does in the village.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're all led upstairs, top floor. You do hear some faint coughing from the 2nd floor, somebody who's sick that she's tending to apparently, and then shown the upper floor, which shows signs of having been recently cleaned and the flues opened so that this floor was heated as well, like just this morning when they knew you were coming. And the 3 rooms are pretty much all on one side of the house with the common area where the stairs lead up on the other. And except for the shutters being in place, it's got a rather large window that would overlook the village in the common room. And the fire up here is kind of low, but since it's getting heat from all the other floors, it's actually quite pleasant up here.
I forget. Did we catch the village elder's name?
You never asked, and as a commoner, she never gave it.
Okay.
Yeah, no one gave introductions at all in either way. And I'm like, what?
And of course, the commoners are just going to go with it.
Yep.
Oops. Well, I mean, if we have a little bit of free time to spare, like at least Takeo will introduce himself to the village chief or elder.
Kaitako's obtuse. Y'all shouldn't stop yourself from doing social pleasantries just because of her.
I
judging all of you.
completely
This is
forgot as a
normal for
player
her.
too. I completely forgot about the pleasantries. I thought that was like automatically assumed that it was going to be done.
Hey,
So that's
think
my
about it from the commoner's side. 3 lions, you're in Lionlands, show up with an Imperial and a Scorpion. And they don't bother introducing themselves. Okay, they don't want their names known. Right, we won't ask.
Don't tell.
Well, I'm still going to at least private, like, you know, if I can catch, you know, the time with the village elder, he will introduce himself properly and apologize for reneging on proper introductions as we came to the village.
Well, the perfect moment for that would be once you reach that common room and she gestures to the 3 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Rooms going, please, take your pick. The common area has a couple cushions, a low table, that has a go board on it.
All right. Village elder son. My apologies. I tend to forget proper etiquette, and I believe the rest of us forgot to properly introduce ourselves. My name is Goseki no Matsutakeo, and and we are, and once again, we are here to help you. And I will let the rest of my troop introduce themselves as they see fit.
She bows to you at that and says, I'm known around here as Granny June. Either one works. Call me Granny, call me June. Either works.
Granny.
For now, I will stick with June-san. But thank you very much for the introduction.
You honor me with that.
Hmm? All right.
After all, most commoners are used to not having honorifics put on their name.
Kaitako gets like a big smile and walks up to her and says, Granny June, my name is Kitsu Kaitako. Did you carve those figurines downstairs yourself?
Some of them. Some of them come from my grandkids, some from my kids, some from others of the village.
They are very lovely. Brought a smile to my face.
Thank you. There was another Kitsu who came through, 30 years ago, I think. He gifted me with the kitsune.
Her eyes widen ever so slightly, but she doesn't mention it.
I wish I could remember his name, but it has been so long.
Granny June, my name is Ikoma Sayuri. Thank you for the pleasant accommodations.
It is my pleasure.
This one is known as Seppun Kinjiro, and this is my brother, Toshi Takuro.
It is a pleasure. Thank you for your accommodations.
Of course.
Bows.
It is an honor to be able to find refuge in this place, though I'm sure that we have drawn on your favor enough at this point. Perhaps it is time for us to get onward with our responsibilities. Yes?
I suppose I have thought of one more question, if that is all right. This young lady who came to town and was the first to vanish, did anyone know her name? Or why she was here?
She did not give a family name, so we assumed she was a commoner like us. But she carried herself as if she was of the samurai clan. And she only said that her name was Sai. It may have been an assumed name, but it is what she asked us to call her. And she did not stay long.
Of course. Thank you.
If you wish to ask anyone in the village any questions, I am sure they are more than happy to answer them.
She looks around and gestures to where the sick were earlier, and says, "Is this because of the sudden weather change? Colds, flus?"
I think so, and it seems to just be a cold, and it is a young one, so they are more susceptible to such things. But he's doing well.
Assuming she gives a small, like, lopsided smile, like someone who's about to crack a bad joke, and says, "Assuming we come back alive, I would be more than happy to help treat anyone who is sick before we leave."
Oh, he just needs good tea and to rest for a while. He's on the recovery already.
She
But
gives
thank
it
you
up.
for your kindness of offering.
Oh, and I assume, actually, are Rokukin and Kage with us too? Right?
No,
No.
no.
Oh.
At the Toshi, you split off from each other, and they went north
At Toshi
while
Okay.
you went south.
All right. Man, like if he was there, I probably would have mentioned to Granny that that Rokukin would have been interested in like exchanging like tea recipes if at all possible. But since he's not here, no point in mentioning.
And besides, to her, she'd be confused anyway. She's in a village. There's a recipe for teas? Nah, there's just tea.
Yeah, you just put the grass in the thing, and then it happens. That's all you do.
Just toss in some weeds and then pleasantry or not.
Pretty much, yeah. Though if you're talking like herbal remedy teas, then that would be different, and those would be recipes to her. But
Okay.
tea is tea.
All
To a
right.
commoner, tea is tea. You don't get different blends or anything like
Whatever
that.
tea you
You get
have.
whatever the merchant's willing to sell you.
All right, understood. And and I know for sure once we split off and like essentially congregate back to the central area, Takeo would like to ask Kaedeko about perhaps having one of his weapons being blessed with the sacred quality, since we're dealing with something supernatural and he doesn't want to be useless in the battle to come.
Except that only lasts for one scene, and you aren't there yet.
Or less than one scene, like a number of rounds,
okay.
unless they get bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking prep work leading up to it, so yeah. He doesn't know about that. He just knows that there are some weapons that have a sacred quality to them, and he assumes that maybe since Kaedeko is capable of providing that quality to weapons, it might be something that he can have in reserve. But
there is fresh, clean water available here. So if Kaedeko wanted to do like a ritual cleansing for everybody to start you off right, kind of thing, she could.
If we're going to spend any downtime, I have something that I'd like to do other than that.
Sure, you can take this entire day, since I said it took half a day just to get to the village. You could take the rest of the day doing a downtime activity and then go up to the mines and further if needed tomorrow. After all the villagers at this point, now that you're here, are not going back up to the mine till the problem is solved or you don't come back.
Kaedeko could do some divination, if anyone wants to get their fortunes told before we head off, since that would not expire at the end of the scene.
I think I still have my divination blessing still in reserve from last time.
I think
it is only game session, so I would have to do it again.
Okay.
The reason I was saying is because I have threshold barrier as a ritual. So if we have time, like downtime, or before we go to bed here in the place,
Mhm.
Kenjiro would offer to do a threshold barrier ritual for the like gateway to the entrance of the village that would protect it from any otherworldly beings coming into the village.
She lets you know that there's actually two Toshi gates for this village. One that you came through to reach the village, and one that leads up to the mines.
And I'd be happy to guard this village from both ends.
She thanks you very profusely. And at dinner that night, you get an extra fish. Like most grandmothers, she shows her appreciation and love for people by feeding them.
No, sweetheart, eat some more.
Even if it's a poor village, a bowl of rice and a fish is what dinner is. They get it from nearby stream for the fish, and they grow a lot of their own rice. So that's what they mostly have. So Kenjiro's going to be doing those rituals. I'll go back to Matt. What are you going to do for a downtime activity?
Sorry, a little bit of cat distraction here. Let's see. Downtime activity.
Just what would you like to do for the afternoon and evening?
Probably do a little bit of an inspection around the village to see how the other buildings are holding up and how the how the villagers are also doing as well, just to get like an assessment of the health of the village.
Other than missing people, health of the village seems pretty good. Most of the buildings are in generally good repair. A few houses do have like those little paper charms on them because everybody who lived in them has gone missing. And they're warding the building itself, which leads you to think that there may also be a village priest somewhere there, but you see no sign of a shrine or anything here, or any sign of the priest himself or herself. Could be either. And there is also a blacksmithy attached to the stone building that is the miner foreman's home and warehouse. You glancing in the blacksmithy, you see that the forge has gone cold, and that the implements and things here are obviously mostly just to keep mining equipment in good condition.
All right, that makes sense.
Sayuri, what would you like to do for this evening, or afternoon and evening?
Sounds like we're staying in town, not going to the mine just yet.
Not just yet, apparently. Going to try and make it a full day, apparently. Since you arrived around a little after lunchtime.
I'm going to look around the general area of the village and see if I can find any plants that would be useful for whether that be medicinal purposes or just for making a pretty bouquet.
Okay. What kind of skill would that be? Well, if you're going for medicinal useful, you'd be making a medicine check. If you're just looking for pretty, that would be composition.
More importantly, medicine.
Okay. Because of the unseasonal weather, it's going to be a bit harder, TN3. Or if you pick the right ring, it might be a TN2.
Fire to melt the snows. I'm going to use Earth to remember what plants grow where and at what season.
Okay.
Will that be TN3?
That because of unseasonal weather still leaves it as a 2. I mean a 3. Sorry, I said 3 was the initial difficulty. It's still there.
Boo.
Well, since you had some successes, you don't completely fail. You just don't find a lot that's really useful.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Going to wait for you to actually finish. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go with the 2.
So 2 successes. You get a little cold. That's what causes the strife because it's cold
chilly
here.
out. It's supposed to be summer.
And while you probably brought more clothes that are for winter wear because of knowing what you're going into, it's still cold out. And it's still snowing constantly. Lightly, but constantly. And you don't find much that's really, you think, immediately useful as far as medicinal goes. I mean, you find a couple plants that when brewed in a tea, can help with sadness. Can help alleviate sadness a little bit.
Neat.
But that's about it. And they are also some of the most ugly and shriveled specimens of that plant that you've ever seen. But they're there. You find enough that you could make a teacup out of it. And if somebody's not feeling that great, well, you can make them feel a little better with a cup of it. It's not a great tasting tea, but it would make them feel better. AKA, it's like St. John's wort, the Rokugan version of that for depression. And I'll go to Kedika. What do you do for your downtime?
Well, I think that she offered to try and divine someone's future if anyone is interested.
I'll say even if you're, I'm going to say Kenjiro's the only one that you can't offer that to because he's very busy with these rituals and doing 2 of them. So his whole time is taken up with that.
I would say I'll take you up on that offer after Takeo looks around the village and does his inspection.
Okie dokie.
Does Takoro want his fortune read?
No. I don't
He's like,
want
you
people,
stay away from me.
I don't want people knowing my future. Thank you. You know, the stars do tell you things that about people, and I don't want people knowing things about me, so I don't volunteer for that kind of stuff.
She does one anyway with the sticks.
Yeah.
And it just comes up. Every stick that comes out just says secret.
I sense a bitch.
I am the modern.
Every stick is supposed to be different, and she shakes them, and 3 come out, and they all say secret. So she shakes it more. 3 more come out. They all say secret. Wait, 6 of them said secret? Pulls all of them out. Every single one says secret when dealing with Tokoro.
All Takoro know is eat hot Cheeto and have secret. All right, let's see. So that's 6.
And how he knows how to eat hot Cheeto, considering they don't exist here, we'll never know.
It's a secret.
Does Sayuri want her fortune read? Crystal?
What?
Does Sayuri want her fortune read as well?
I mean, if Kaedeko is feeling bored, I'll let her do that. I don't really believe in this mumbo jumbo, but it's kind of fun.
Okay, Kadeko's fortune telling services is open for business with 2 customers.
It's completely free. Let me do it, please. Okay, so for Takeo first, we got a success, a bunch of them. Let's give you advantage. I think I can do on the next martial ability.
That'd be helpful.
Here. Artisan, scholar, martial. Yeah, Omen of the White Tiger. That's the one you get. Next time you perform a check using a skill from the martial group this game session, you get to add a kept one of those black square dice to an opportunity with strife result. All right, and let's try again for Sayuri. And I think I'm just going to use... Actually, could I use those 2 opportunity to get more detailed information about Takeo's future?
Oh, okay.
Hold on, Takeo's what?
Your future.
His future.
Oh, future. Okay.
Yeah, past just the Omen.
That's added information. You see 2 paths before him with that. One, he dies on this mountain. The other, he returns home to his wife and flirts with every handmaiden around her. And her.
I see many women in your future.
That brings a sly smile on Takeo's face. Interesting.
Should you return victorious?
Which for Kadeko, considering he's been the model of decorum and not flirting with anyone, usually because one of his brothers-in-law is nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like.
Plus, I gotta set a good example.
Seeing this future with him flirting with so many women is kind of surprising.
A little weird.
That is a lot of opportunity there.
Holy moly.
Keep all the white dice.
Yeah. Well, I need to keep 2, and I can only keep 3. And I don't have any exploders, but that's a lot.
You need to
of
keep 2
opportunity.
and can only
I might as well
keep
just keep
3?
all of them.
What?
No. I thought those were successes with strife until I looked closer because it was very tiny. So I was very confused on what was happening. Okay.
All right.
So
what would you like to use the 3 opportunity for?
Gonna use one of those to get rid of my 2 strife I got from earlier, and the other 2 to get a more detailed glimpse into Sayuri's future too.
Well, combination of things for you on that. Because she is not really a believer in fortune telling, it's a lot harder to see down her paths. Her paths show that she is likely to survive going up the mountain, though she may come back changed and different in some fashion. Maybe maimed, maybe because of a loss of a companion, something like that. The other, you see her returning to her home and kind of fading in the background a little bit at home. Until another thing comes up where she has to step up and do her duty.
Okay.
You see that even further down that path where she goes and does that duty will come calling sooner than she expects.
Okay. So Sayuri will also get the Omen of the White Tiger. So Benny's to the martial skill group this game. And Kaideko would say, duty will come sooner than you perhaps would expect it to or wish it to. But I feel like you should find something that makes you happy when you have a chance, when you have a break.
Thank you, Kaideko-san.
And what does Tokoro do during the downtime, besides pick the largest room and lounge about for a bit, shoving the two beds together to make it larger and luxurious.
Well,
King of the hill.
he's also gonna take a walk around town and get the feel for this village. He'll notice the charms, and since he is a Shugenja, he can figure out if these charms are actually useful, and he'll try and find out who is making these charms.
Okay, well, in inspecting the charms, they are actual charms. They do work. And they are warding the house from evil spirits until their owners can be restored to them or properly buried.
I want to check these charms to see if these are Fortunistic charms, or Taoist charms like Shinsei's Tao, or if they are more like elementalist in nature. So those are the three kinds of religions that are in Rokugan right now that have kind of like morphed into one, but they are still three separate traditions as well.
Three different ways of approaching the kami.
So as a Shugenja, I'm an elementalist. A monk would be a Taoist, and a Fortunist would also. There are monks that are Fortunists as well, and there are Shugenja that are Fortunists as well. So,
whichever maps most closely to Shinto.
Fortunism and elementalism. Then probably.
It's like a generalist did this, and the kami still blessed it.
Okay.
Somebody who's obviously has a little training, but is not a full samurai level training.
Well, then I'll go ask the village, the village elder about this.
Oh yes, that was Tondai.
Tondai?
Tondai for his name. That was Tondai. He was one of the ones that disappeared on the new moon. He had a shrine just outside the village towards the mines so that the miners could get blessings on their way and could cleanse themselves spiritually on their way back for having torn from the earth.
Right. Takeo really wants to go check out this shrine, but Takeo said not to, so he's not going to do that. And instead, he is going to check out the refining area and see what's up with the ore or gems or whatever they are mining from here, and if it is still in operation or if they have shut down because of this spiritual imbalance.
They have shut down fairly recently because the forge has gone cold in the blacksmithy. The ore itself is primarily iron ore. They don't refine it here. They just mine it and then ship it off to be refined elsewhere.
Okay.
They use a little bit for making their own tools. So it's a small amount of refinery going on, but it's very small.
I am going to commune with spirits in here in order to see if this place has just been shut down or if there is an actual elemental imbalance here. And I assume it's with the fire kami, considering this is a snow thing. So I will use...
And also this is a blacksmithy.
Yes, so I will do a void theology check.
Okay. TN2.
It is a TN... it's a TN1.
Okay, then.
This is a power I'm using. It's
Okay.
So it's a TN1. Make a TN1 theology check using air, earth, fire, water, or void to appeal to that kind of spirit. So it'll be a... I'm not good at this, so because of fire, I have a fire of 1, but it's only a TN of 1, so I assume that I should be able to make it.
There's a chance.
Yes.
theology, right?
It is theology.
You got a pretty good theology?
I'm okay with theology.
You got an okay theology.
A Shugenja that only is kinda good at theology.
That's all I need.
There's a success.
That's what I want. You know what?
I mean, you only need to keep one if it's a TN1.
But no, I'm gonna take this one and see what I get, because extra successes or extra opportunity does stuff. So, well,
Well, there's another success that could be an opportunity.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
How would you like to use that opportunity?
There are different ways to use it for this particular ritual. I can reduce the TN of my next check to interact with or appeal to that kind of kami by 1. Or, if I succeed, I receive 1 additional boon spent this way.
Oh, right. You're using Commune with Spirits, huh?
Exactly. So, the 3 boons I can get is Sense the Kami, Spiritual Knowledge, and Elemental Gift. So, the first one I'm going to do is reach out and sense the fire kami in this area and figure out if there's anything wrong with them.
And I think that's out to a range of, what, like your number of successes or something
Number
like
of
that?
range bands equal to the ring you used plus bonus successes. So 3. So probably the room that I'm in.
Yeah, pretty much the room and a little bit into the mine foreman's bedroom and a little bit into the warehouse part. In the forge itself, there is a fire kami in the forge, but it is asleep because the fuel has run out.
Right.
And it has been allowed to go to sleep.
Makes sense.
It was obviously done in the right way so that the forge can be reawoken. But right now, it's asleep.
Okay.
And for in the village itself, you sense no direct imbalance with the fire kami except for the weather. The weather is causing a bit of an imbalance for them.
Okay.
Because it is cold.
Number 2, I get to ask the fire kami a question. And the question I would like to ask these fire kami is if there is an increased amount of Kansen in the area. Kansen are evil spirits, are basically the Shadowlands version of elemental spirits. So when you use blood magic, you call upon the Kansen spirits instead of the elemental spirits. And if there's a large amount of Kansen in the area, that could signal that there's maybe a Mahosukai in the area or some sort of Shadowlands magic happening.
Okay. The fire kami wakes up a little bit and there's a faint glow in the forge as a result. And he goes, huh? So what's that? What's Kansen?
I'm looking for the Kansen.
Yeah, north of the mines.
Thank you.
There's also something worse up there.
Wish me luck, hardworking fire kami. And I wish you to reopen and become useful once again. But for now, enjoy your sleep.
Would you like to use that opportunity for elemental boon? Because I have an idea for that.
I already used it. So I used sense I succeeded. That gave me the sense of the kami. And my second boon was the spiritual knowledge. And basically learn 1 fact about the spirits know in the area. I wanted to know about the Kansen. So I did everything.
Okay.
If you want to give me extra, that's up to you.
Well, do you feed the fire kami?
No. This place was shut down, and if I...
Yeah, but a single lump of coal probably wouldn't hurt anything.
Oh, sure, then. Yeah, of course. I will definitely give a gift to the fire kami of a lump of coal for it.
Then a small lick of fire comes out as you place the coal and brushes your hand. You have a temporary mark on the back of your hand of a fire kami,
Cool.
and you no longer feel cold.
Excellent.
It's a very minor thing in that you just won't feel cold for the next 48 hours.
Hey, look, I got the ring of fire on my arm.
Tic-tat.
Aha, if I
And
get all 5
really-
rings, I win. Those are the rules of the card game.
Only those with spirit sight will even be able to see the mark.
Okay.
So your brother Kenjiro and Keitako will be able to see it, but Sayuri and Takeo probably won't.
Oh no, my disadvantage is that I'm totally oblivious to anything spiritual.
Oh, you're Momoku?
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love it.
You think Kaedeko's a total nutter.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't really believe in divination.
I will
Well.
return and report back to Keitako because this is her mission.
So you don't believe in divination despite the fact that we traveled in the past?
By the way, James, I posted some stuff in the chat. I'm gonna run. I have to go for a bio break real quick, but I wanted to give you a heads up.
Which chat?
The server chat, the not server, the on the VTT.
Oh, on the VTT. Ah, there it is.
Remember to mute your mic. I go report to Kiriko. Kitsu-san, I have obtained some information you might want. I have communed with the fire kami in the area, and they have warned that there is a large amount of Kansen just beyond the mine, and they warn of something even more dangerous. Yes.
And Kansen, out of character, is what? Just the presence of evil spirits?
Evil spirits.
Okay.
Basically, like the yin of the elemental spirits, whereas the elemental spirits are good, these are evil elemental spirits.
Okay, so there's a abundance of that.
Yes.
Like the fire that warms the hearth can also burn the house down.
Right.
No, well, they're not elemental as in an element. They're blood spirits. It's the element of blood.
Ugh. Well, that sounds super pleasant.
Yeah, exactly.
More like the
But some can be
angry
twisted
ghosts.
from kami, and therefore the analogy I gave kind of works. And I don't know why in the VTT, but Sasha, you're stuck on Castle of the Swift Sword on mine and not on Lands of the Lion.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it shows me there too. So
Let me try activating that one and then forcing everybody over there and then back. And there we go. Now you're on it.
oh, yoo-hoo.
Yes, we are. Here,
Where is everyone?
let me show you on the map where we are.
Yahoo! We're on a big
We're on this
countryside map.
We can ping it.
Okay,
Yep, right there.
coolio.
We came from
We don't need to
here.
drag
And
our
the
figures
village-
there, do we?
We came from
The
here.
village itself is like in this little valley you can see on the shorter of the two mountains there. And the mine is on the third taller one.
On the third taller one.
Yeah, if you zoom in,
Oh, the
north-
tiny
yeah,
little mountains.
yeah,
Okay.
that little 3-part right there. So the village is in the little crevice right here,
James,
and then the mine's over on this one.
click and hold on the map. There. Ha ha. Okay, and we were here
and the
at the
James
Castle
Master.
of the Swift Sword, and then we came.
Traveled along the drowned merchant river.
Yep, and we went to Toshirambo where we split up from the Kage and
Rokukin.
Rokin, and then we made our way overland to the mountain, and that's where we are.
Cool. So, Takaro, I don't remember. Have you ever given some sort of indication in front of Kaedeko that you can sense spirits or like do anything like? Because I wasn't sure if that was like in private scenes off or if you've ever
I'm a
shown an
Shugenja.
inclination.
He's
I
done
never-
illusions and pulled up fog directly in front of you. And with
the
play
magic I
provided the
remember.
special effects.
But I mean specifically like communing with the spirits directly, that ability. I don't
Yeah.
know if he ever did that in front of her. I don't think so.
I believe I have.
I don't remember. Okay, I
I
was
did
just
that
Yes, he
entire-
did. He did it to assist you when you did the teleportation in the river.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm a Shugenja. I'm a priest, just like you.
I
If
know
he-
that. I'm not sure you
if
know what
he's-
I'm saying.
If he's doing magic, you're pretty sure he's able to talk with the spirits, with the
Right.
kami.
I just was thinking because it's a specific like ritual, and I didn't know if he had shown that he could do that one before.
Okay. It's a pretty.
That was all.
It's a pretty basic ritual that they teach. I don't think there's a single Shugenja that doesn't know how to commune with the
Commune
kami.
with spirits. Yeah, I think all Shugenja get that, as far as I know.
I know not. Okay, was just asking.
Anyways,
So-
that is what I have done. Unless you'd like to continue to question me on this.
Yes. So you said an abundance next to the mines or past them?
Past the mine. The fire kami wasn't in that specific, but did say that there are Kansen more than normal in the area that exist past the mine up the mountain. So not inside the mine, but further up the mountain, and warned of something even more powerful, even more dangerous that is dwelling within that area.
Well, I am sure glad that I am not here alone. Smile.
I will make sure that you are safe, Kitsu-san. You have nothing to fear.
The way you say that makes me question that.
I know, right?
I feel very unsafe. I need an adult. I need more than the adults present in this room.
Whispers of
I'm
treachery.
an adult.
I mean,
Currently
my
in
I
the
know
room
how
is
well you were
you.
drunk.
There is you, who is an adult,
Yes,
And
I
there
need
is-
more.
Kokoro, who is an adult.
my character has
And that's
whispers.
it right now, because the other two went off to wander around the village.
Yeah, it's not enough. This is not good enough.
My character
at the moment.
my character has whispers of treachery, which is a disadvantage that makes people not trust me, and I'm hamming that up.
I need an adult. I am an adult.
Damn it.
Don't worry, you're perfectly safe.
Ah,
There's
yes.
nothing to fear.
Thank you for your reassurances.
Okay, I'm done.
Same.
All right, I think we're just kind of waiting for Tarek to come back for morning to arrive. And Corey, you do end up noting that at dinner that Kenjiro got an extra fish over what you got.
That's because he's so handsome, okay? The only reason
And nice.
I don't get an extra fish
Says
is
the identical twin.
because I wear the mask. Otherwise, I'd get the same treatment.
So it's not that he's more handsome, it's just that you're less fashionable.
I didn't say he was more handsome. I said it's because he's so handsome.
No, you're just hyping yourself up too, aren't you?
I mean,
Only a little.
I am a politician.
I'm saying He's not more handsome than you. You're just less fashionable than him.
It's the sacrifice I make for being loyal to the Scorpion clan.
I suppose while we're waiting for Kenjiro, Kairiko might try one more time to offer divination to Takaro, and the thing that she would say to see if he would be more open to it is, if I'm being quite honest, I saw some troubling things in the upcoming future for Takeo and Sayuri-sama. I will not press you to accept divination should you not have no interest, but perhaps for all of our sakes, it would be helpful to know a little bit more of what we're up against.
I understand. It would be troubling to see our immediate futures, considering that we're going up against some sort of powerful, malevolent force. That said, peeking behind the curtain into the future of a Scorpion, that doesn't seem like a good idea. It is... If you see the wrong thing, Kitsu-san, it may make dealings with the Scorpion in the future difficult, and I would not want to put you in such a situation. I have pledged to look out for you after all.
Do not worry, Soshi-san. I am not afraid. I deal with ghosts after all. Smile.
Oh, I assure you, the Scorpion clan are not ghosts.
No, they're not nearly as scary.
Oh.
After all, you two are my great friends. Smile. You and Kenjiro.
Yes. Well, if you wish to look into one's fate such as I, perhaps my brother can let you see his fortune in my stead. After all, we are karmically linked, and thus much of his...
Cosmically.
Karmically.
Oh, yes, karmically.
Karmically linked.
I thought you said
I
comically.
thought you said
Yeah, same here.
Karmically linked.
We are comically intertwined.
Exactly.
One steps on a banana peel, the other slips.
Yeah.
Three Stooges, the three brothers.
We're Tomax and Zaymok, like the twins. When one gets punched, the other feels it. No, brother!
There's a fair number of yin-yang pairs in your group, and Keitako and Takoro are definitely the Shugenja yin-yang.
Oh yeah.
Five, buddy.
Perhaps any divination to his future will reveal parts of mine as well. But I'm a man of many secrets, Kitsu-san, and I am tasked with preserving those secrets, so I must decline.
I understand. I suppose I'll try to find Kenjiro then when he returns.
3 hours later, cut to Kenjiro out by the Torii gates, and he's just frozen solid.
It's the Shining. Like he's just sitting out there like frozen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the end of The Shining.
That's exactly what I was imagining.
He doesn't show up for dinner.
This is breakfast.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's the next day. It was breakfast.
He did get 2 extra fish, but he didn't eat any of them. He's just sitting on the table still.
Start talking to the water kami, asking where he is.
Inside of me.
The
Water
breakfast in morning does have pickled veg along with a few radishes and a couple other green things. And
By the
yes,
way-
Kenjiro, you find you get an extra portion of that as well.
Just a quick question: did I sense that any
He is
any-
wearing imperial signs.
Within the last 24 hours, no.
Okay,
But of course, in the last 24 hours, the village has basically gone into a lockdown when they got word that you guys were coming.
What I imagined. So Kendra will probably have shown up late to dinner, and then like at the breakfast table looks rather like tired, but working through his morning ritual and eating the extra food is helping out to keep him energized for the.
You noticed my new tattoo. Ooh. I got my void headband, my fire tattoo. I'm collecting the rings, man. When I get all 5 of them, I win the game.
Unstoppable.
That's when you become a true master, and you have to fight the elemental 5, and then
The elemental 5. They come out and they all like pose Ginyu style, like Chah!
Exactly.
We are elemental 5.
It's like
Speed
Ninja
lines.
Turtles.
Yeah.
And you have the back-facing explosions of all different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But then he has to
exactly.
use his
An explosion of
elemental
each
Pokemon
element.
Yeah, they don't have to use his elemental Pokemon to win a battle against them. He'd become the best trainer of elements.
So after breakfast, if we did have a chance, Kaideko would like to try to perform divination on Kenjiro, but that's only if we have the time
Maybe
to.
during.
Or maybe during breakfast
Yeah,
then, yeah.
breakfast might be the best time to do it. That way we can still have time to get out.
Yes.
All right. Kendra will kind of raise an eyebrow and go, let me guess. You talked to Takaro about this.
Of course I did.
He
He said
told you to
no.
come to me. Did he give you the spooky talk too?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I am tethered into the things that are unknowable and secretive about the future, and knowing my future might be something horrifying for your eyes or might put you in jeopardy.
The way she's blinking at you, you know the answer.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, feel free.
Jeez.
I used to also be interested in divinations when I was young. Happy to oblige.
Oh, I didn't even need to keep that one. I did that on accident. I'll just use it to get rid of the strife. Okay. 2 successes to give Kenjiro the Omen of the White Tiger, and 1 opportunity spent to negate the strife I literally just got from clicking the same dice that gave me that opportunity, and 2 opportunity to see specifically if anything relating Takaro's future is intertwined with Kenjiro's, instead of seeing like deeper into Kenjiro's future, I guess I should say.
Sure.
Martial skill group.
They are twins. Of course their fates intertwined.
But yeah, specifically.
Yeah, that's what I was asking for. If there is any.
Not like, oh no, Takaro's gonna be sad.
Yes, their fate is intertwined. Either they're both going to leave here or they're both going to die here. It will not be one or the other leaving here. It will either be both or neither.
Okay.
You know, you could also tell her that Takaro has some animosity towards his brother right now.
That would also be fitting.
There is a little bit of that. There is also, since you were specifically trying to backdoor look down Takoro's
Give me those
future,
secrets.
there is so much shadows.
Oof. Edgy.
So many shadows. Now, some of those shadows might be the shinobi he associates with, or other scorpions, or just other things. But no matter which path Tokoro ends up going down, there are shadows. And shadows can also mean secrets, so that also tracks. So it's not like you really got anything new on him doing that, but
Yep.
all stuff you could have figured out through just logic and thinking about it. But that's what the fortune, because you tried to backdoor it, gets you.
Well, I wasn't necessarily trying to backdoor him so much as I was trying to figure out what might happen to him on the mountain. So the first answer was on the right. Was helpful for that. Either they're both going to make it out, or neither one of them is.
And possibly the animosity I'm holding might be a key to that.
Nah, couldn't be.
I'm lagging really hard.
You were my
Especially
brother,
with
Anakin!
Hansen involved.
My perspective,
Jedi,
Jedi are evil. Okay. I suppose Kaito would just kind of frown a little bit at the vagueness of the fortune and tell Kenjiro, you should keep a very close eye on your brother when we ascend that mountain. For both of your sakes.
See, well, I've never let Takuro out of my sight whenever we are entangled like this. I am his protector after all. Where he goes, I shall have to follow them. But that does let me know to bring my Nagamaki along with me. I'm going to have to protect him. Might as well make sure that I can do it at distance.
All right. Well, that's all I got. Thoroughly ominous fortunes.
I appreciate your help, son.
Job well done.
Yes.
And you all head out over to the next mountain, up to the mine. The mine foreman and his assistant lead you to the mine and then go, we will return to the village from here. Unless you guys want to stop at the shrine on your way up there.
I would actually
Yes.
like to check the shrine, yes.
That seems like a good idea.
The shrine at this point is got a few days layer of dust laying around in it.
You mean snow? Or
Not inside of it.
is this
This
like
is
a...
an enclosed shrine.
Okay, so it's got like a roof, a little... Is it like on a porch or something? Or a little like... What's it called? Gazebo?
It's basically an enclosed gazebo style.
Okay.
Where you go in, there's a room, there's a fire pit in the center, and then there's the actual shrine itself on the far side of this.
And we could take some time to spruce it up a little bit.
And there is right next to the entry a little donation box and some incense sticks.
Do we know the fortune to which this shrine is to?
Health and prosperity are the apparently main focuses of it.
Okay. Is this like a local fortune, like the local mountain fortune? Okay.
Yes. And it's also obviously maintained and operated by somebody who doesn't have full Shugenja training. Just a village priest.
Okay. I'll drop a zenny in the box, grab a piece of stick of incense, and make a prayer to the fortune that he will look over all of us.
I make a prayer to my ancestor at the shrine and do the thing and then clack the...
Mm-hmm. All those things are there and available. Do the other three do anything?
I will
Kaito-
do
go
what
ahead.
I have seen other people do based on my cultural knowledge.
So you drop a zenny, take a stick of incense, light it,
Yes.
What's
and offer a short prayer. Because, hey, it can't hurt, even if it's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt.
Yes.
I've never heard that before, but that is amusing as all heck.
That's
You've
actually
never
a pretty
heard
common
that?
Southern. That's a pretty common Southern phrase.
Oh my gosh, yes. Anytime somebody dropped like a piece of food on the ground, they'd be like, God made dirt and dirt don't hurt.
God.
God made alligators. Those were a mistake.
And
He made
platypuses.
them before he made people and figured things out.
Platypi.
But he
also made
over-designed
platypi.
them, so they haven't changed in millions of years.
And you know it's true because it rhymes.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
And what was Keiko saying?
Yes, Kairiko will do the same. Drop the coin in the box, light the incense. However, her prayer will be more specific to protect not necessarily herself, but those who came on this journey with her.
Okay. And Matt?
I think Takeo will also light some incense and give a small donation. And he wants to send out a prayer to at least find some survivors, if at all possible, to take back to the village. That's what
Okay.
his thoughts are.
Just a small note for you, since you were the last to drop the coin in the box. You were expecting it to at least clink against the other coins, and instead you heard a faint squelch.
I have several questions, but I don't know if it'd be proper for me to open the box.
Concerned.
You could ask one of the Shugenja to do it, since they are priests, basically.
Who's poking it with a stick?
I reach out to both Kaidako and Takaro. I hope it's not beyond me to overreach, but I heard something concerning in the donation box. I heard something fleshy come in contact with my coin in the box, and I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I was expecting to hear a
A
clattering
squelch
sound.
is not necessarily fleshy.
Oh, okay.
It could be like
Moist.
mud.
Yeah. It's like mud is squelchy, rotten food is squelchy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's basic texture feel.
Flesh is also squelchy sometimes, but you know.
It can be.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
like
that's
flesh,
that was my assumption. It's like
bloody skin.
just something that didn't sound quite right.
Kaidako looks morbidly curious.
I look at Kiriko and I say, with your permission,
Her
Okay.
permission?
I walk over to the box and I will cast my Light of Lord Moon, which will reveal secrets to me about this box.
Or you could just open it.
I would
Yeah, but
totally
why
just
do it
open
the easy
it.
way?
Yeah, but if there is something like alive in there, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to.
Okay.
I want to open the box.
And I'm pretty
rats
sure
go
That's
there's
what
all
tells
also-
over it.
Kaidako to open it. So he wants to
I'm
make
pretty
sure.
sure there's also a bit of honor loss when it comes to opening a box from a religious,
I'm good with that.
shrine.
Not for Shugenja.
Oh,
Definitely not for Shugenja. Anybody else, it might be considered attempting to steal from the shrine.
mhm.
But Shugenja are authorized to take the donations to use for the shrine. They don't just sit in the box and do nothing.
Welch, usually.
All right, finalize the step. I won't keep that. Finalize the step.
I kind of feel like anybody who was investigating what the heck happened to possibly lost donations should be okay.
Okay. So, as a scheme action, TN2 theology check, I made it at a range of, an area range 0 to 2 of me. So, around this area. If you succeed, you scry for hidden characters or concealed objects, hidden compartments, trapdoors, concealed weapons, just stuff that, is trying to hide from me. Revealing it with illusionary...
Nope, nothing.
luminous outlines that you can perceive. This invocation only reveals objects and people concealed by mundane means. But if I spend one of my opportunity, I can also reveal one magically concealed object per opportunity spent this way. I will spend 2 just in case there's multiple magically concealed stuff. Probably nothing.
There is no magically concealed items. You can sense in the box that there is, at this point, about 8 coins and a pile of something. Something small, but a pile of it.
Right.
And that's probably what Takeo's coin hit and squelched on.
It's not moving, though, right?
No, it is not moving. It is just sitting there.
I will then slowly open it and peer inside.
You see that the coins that your companions have dropped, all but one of them managed to land next to this bowl of rice that has gone rotten. But Takeo's landed right smack in the middle of it. There are no bugs because it is too cold, but the rice has rotted.
Okay. I will... What do I have here? Inventory.
You also notice a pair of chopsticks sitting in this bowl of rice pointing straight up.
I was wondering.
Perfect.
Does that mean something that I'm unaware of?
Yes.
It's an offering to the spirits.
It's an
offering to Inari.
No. Straight up chopsticks is a
Oh,
signifier
chopsticks in it?
It's
of
something you
death.
do for, like, a funeral.
Yeah, and if it was an offering like that, it would have been on the shrine.
Yes, it's in the offering box. So it's in
the donation box.
It's an offering of death to the spirit.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So,
but the spirit of what? This is a Fortunistic Shrine, isn't it?
I will.
And the bowl itself is black with what you can see from the edges of it around the rotting rice, there is a goldish red pattern going inside of it. But the outside is just flat enamel black.
I will pick up the chopsticks out of the bowl.
Squelch.
I will grab the coin with the chopstick and set it aside next to the bowl.
Okay.
Try and grab the bowl with the chopsticks and lift it out of the box if I can.
That's possible.
Fitness?
But it's going to require
Meditation?
a check of some kind.
Fitness, meditation.
Let's fitness works
I like
because
fitness.
it'd be getting your strength and the right grip on it.
Yeah.
Okay, fitness. I'm going to.
And
say-
you're also
We have,
lucky.
like,
These chopsticks are not
dexterity.
disposable chopsticks. These are lacquered with the ridges on the use end ones. So that does make it a little easier to grab it.
I'm going to make it fitness void. So I do not get any of this bad juju by centering myself while taking
Don't get any of that bad juju
do I know
on you when it drops.
Do I know the TN here?
Yes, it's TN1.
Okay.
Lots of things make this fairly easy for you, but there is a chance of failure.
Is this... I remembered you saying in the beginning that this was a Fortunistic Shrine? The Shrine to the Fortune?
Kinda. It's got some elementalist aspects to it as well. It's kind of a blended thing, like you might expect in many villages.
Okay.
You would not expect it in any castle or place that samurai are at.
The reason
in
I
a
asked...
village, blending of things happens a lot more.
The reason I ask is because usually at a Fortunate Shrine, you leave a bowl of rice as a like blessing to Inari, the god of rice, the fortune of rice. And that's like a Chikushudo thing, a realm of Chikushudo. So somebody like putting this in there might be saying they're putting like a death wish against Inari and like a call for famine or like a curse.
It's probably a death wish against the spirit of this mountain. That's what I'm getting from this. I will spend as many opportunity as I need to make sure that the bowl of rice does not get knocked over during my failure.
Okay. Then your failure is you only need to spend 1 for that, because you just basically try to grip it and you get the worst spot with the slimiest bit on the chopsticks on the bowl, and it just slips when you lift your hand and just kind of goes.
I go, I need more finesse.
What would you like to use the other 2 opportunities for, though?
Brother Matsu-san, come.
Yes. I can assist in taking it out if you need me to
Yes,
help.
I'll hand you the chopsticks. I'll put the chopsticks down so you can pick them up and say,
Okay.
Please lift this bowl without spilling it. I'll spend the 2 opportunity to give support to the Matsu, and I guess divination will work for him. I don't know what his divination was, so I don't know if that works.
My divination was that for a black die martial roll in reserve would be opportunity with strife.
Well, this is a martial roll. It's fitness.
Yeah. Martial is part of fitness.
And
Yep.
get
fitness is part martial.
and
Yep, which means you automatically get that because it was your next roll.
Okay. So I'm gonna use Earth to sort of withstand, the grossness of the contents of the bowl, and I assume it's gotta be a TN2, and I get +1 assistance from Takaro, right?
It's TN1.
TN1, okay.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. He just screwed up somehow,
Yeah,
or just had bad luck with it.
really bad luck on those dice.
Bad luck at the Shrine of Fortune.
Yeah.
This adventure's going great.
Well, I see
And,
3 you might want to. I see 4 you want to keep. None of them with strife.
No with strife. Okay, I already kept 1 with strife, but I will take a. So I only kept the explosive success with strife, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll keep the other one
It
too.
was only a TN1.
Yeah, I know, but still, extra successes don't hurt. Okay, so I got 3 opportunities, so I will use one of them to negate the strife that I got from this roll, and I will use the other 2. Let's see, let me take a look at my opportunity list. Opportunities. All right. Contested territory. Let's go with general use for this one. Since it's Earth. 2+. Minimize the consequences of failure. Well, with Earth, for 2 opportunity, it suddenly recall an important piece of information not directly related to the task. At the GM's discretion, you may establish a small preparatory action you took earlier, such as bringing along a common useful item. So,
I will say that if you're using it that way, you started the fire in the center of the shrine before doing this, because this needs burning.
Yeah. All right. I will definitely make sure to burn the rice once I get it out of the toll box or the donation box.
As you do, lifting it up out, there is a piece of paper dangling from the bottom of the bowl. Both Shugenja recognize this as a paper curse of some kind. Burning it is still fully appropriate.
All right, so I assume just chuck the entire bowl into the fire, or
unless the Shugenja want to examine that piece of paper a little closer first.
Yeah, it might be nice.
All right, Kayadeko, would you like to take a look at the paper before I get rid
And
of the
you have enough successes that this bowl is perfectly stable in your chopstick grip. And you notice that there is Kansen symbols on the top of the chopsticks, on the very end at the top.
Then the chopsticks will also be burned.
All of it right into the fire.
All right.
But you wanted to check the paper first? Go ahead and give me a theology roll.
Is the
This
paper
is going
in
to
the bowl?
be... It's
Underneath.
under it.
Under it. Okay. Theology.
So, like, if this is the bowl with him holding it by chopsticks over here, the paper's dangling from here.
Okay, gotcha. Theology void? Question mark.
That'll work.
If that's what you want.
That would be a TN1. I'm sorry, 2, because it's not really a thing you're that familiar with.
I see 2 right there.
A great roll. That is a great roll.
Okay, and I'll
What
spend.
would you like to spend the 2 on?
More information, please.
Okay. The more information lets you know that the writing on the paper was in a feminine hand. A woman did this, and it was definitely a maho.
What
this
is that?
was a witch.
A witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahosukai.
Like a Shadowlands
Blood
witch.
Yeah. Mahosukai means blood witch.
Okay.
And I'll spell it out for you in Discord.
And the specifics of the curse on the paper was against the priest.
Okay.
Trying to remove the only other spiritual presence on the mountains.
Okay. Well, we met the priest, right? That was the other person?
No.
No, we did
No,
not.
he was one of the ones that
disappeared.
went missing on the last new moon, which,
Ooh.
based upon the rotting of the rice,
Now it makes sense.
that was placed there like a few days before.
Okay.
It's like
So-
a week old rice.
Well, I guess it worked. Kaidego frowns and says to
And the
Takeo
whole
that he can burn
thing
it.
is tainted, and you'll probably want to do some cleansing on Takeo's hands and Takuro's hand for touching the chopsticks.
You should
Okay.
have a cleansing ritual.
I don't know what specific thing are we referring to in saying cleansing? Is that just something I can do?
It's something that I say that any Shugenja can do. It's a simple little ritual to get rid of uncleanness.
Okay, Kaideko will gladly do that then. If there's something I have to roll, just let me know.
No, and in fact, Corey can probably take care of himself for it. It's basically a ritual bathing in something pure
There is a
with
ritual
the part
called,
that's been affected.
Cleansing rite.
There is a ritual called
Yeah.
cleansing rite.
It will get rid of tainted.
If you're afflicted, it will cure you of afflicted.
Oh yeah, afflicted. Tainted is like
I-
the next step, which
I
it
do
can't get
not
rid of.
have cleansing right.
I don't have it either. But we can wash our hands and.
But I'm still saying you at least know the basic form of that ritual, not
Yes.
the one that full calls on the kami.
Yes.
So you don't know how to cleanse of affliction and taint, but you do know how to ritualistically cleanse to avoid carrying anything that might offend the kami.
Okay, great. So then we will do that. And then Kaideko will inform the others that we should be on the lookout for a witch.
It's
From
the
what
effect,
I understand of most of the faiths involved in making up this Rokugani faith, that is pretty much a part of any other ritual you're going to do to talk with the kami. You're going to ritually cleanse yourself first.
Yes.
It's a part of every one of those rituals.
It's
So,
kind of the equivalent
you at
of
least
using
know
hand
how to do the basic
sanitizer.
form.
So,
And there's plenty of snow out there, though, since it's coming from a tainted source, you may not want to
wanna
use it.
that.
Mhm.
We'll use our own water, or we will
Yeah.
call upon water, or whatever. But we don't have to make any rolls to resist the afflicted condition. Okay.
No,
All right.
no,
Good.
whatever this thing was doing, it's already done it. It's just bad juju by itself.
Mm-hmm. But I feel a moment of inspiration. Rotten rice is a blight. Mahosukai pays dearly. Mountain mine, safe passage. End of poem. Been a while since I last done that, so I'm like, might as well take a moment to do it.
Give yourself 1 XP for that.
Ooh.
And so you burn the bowl and the chopsticks and the rice, and it's very stinky, and you do a lot of fanning to get this bad smoke out. Light several more incense to help with that.
Weird.
And the paper curse actually burns purplish.
It creates a miasma, and we all get sick.
We all hear a tiny scream.
Yeah.
And someone in the party gets horrendous diarrhea.
Not it.
Not it.
Laugh.
Matt,
Speak up.
I said not it. What? I didn't know about
Put your
this.
finger on your
I didn't
mouth.
know about this.
Sucks to suck,
this is like
man.
the 6th times we've gotten
I
you with this.
said-
Oh,
not
darn.
letting
Since
you
I
pay
didn't
attention.
do it at all and didn't say anything, the entire village is now shitting itself.
Whew, it's a good thing they can all squeeze into the village elder's place.
Maybe they will need my help after all.
Hey, I think you're overcharging your mic just slightly there, James. I think when you were demonstrating to me earlier, yeah, you didn't turn
Sorry.
it down. Just, yeah, thank you.
Is that better?
I hope so.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
And then
I just heard it
the
just
mine
now.
foreman and his assistant lead you to the mine itself and say, they've always disappeared close to here. There used to be a woodsman that had a shed up that way that he lived in and would bring wood into the village. But he was kind of a hermit and he passed away a few years ago.
Who's talking?
The
mine foreman?
mine foreman who led you to the mine.
Oh, he's with us. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the idea
he led you to the
was
mine because the path is hard to
it's
find
gonna
because
take
of
us
all the snow.
way.
Saw the slip go up in purple smoke and was like, heebie-jeebies.
Santa
Whatever
Maria.
cultural sign you want for warding off evil, they were doing it. Whether it's or whatever.
Make a claw over your heart and push away. If I remember correctly, that was a Greek one.
I don't know. Whatever.
Heck,
Sprinkling
some
some-
localized villages may use to make it go away.
I
Oh
like
no,
that
it's
one.
the moose people! Run!
We knew this day would come.
Oh no, it's this. Sorry.
Is the sign of our people. Wherever you want to put it, honestly.
Oh no, it's the rooster faces! It's even worse!
Turkey Clan is
Yeah, you can do it here, you can do it here, on the ears, wherever works.
you have to turn your head because your arm works better that way to get that. Because doing right here hurts the wrist.
And if you do it like this, you're Corey.
Or if you do it like
Then
this.
it's squid.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna.
If you do it like this, you're a part of the trumpet clan.
You're part
If
of
you're doing
band.
this, your trombone.
Yeah.
You don't want to be part of band.
Believe me,
I
you do
wasn't
not want
part
to be
of
part of the
it.
tuba village.
Everybody's doing the finger band now.
So you're in front of the mine. He gestured to the north to mention that shed that the woodsman lived in.
If this is
And
one
he
of
and his assistant will return to the village now.
if that shed is one of the only places that one could potentially take shelter in up this high, perhaps we should check it out. Who knows? The previous ascender of this mountain may have stopped in there as well, if she also stopped by the shrine.
I agree. It is a good place to look.
I'd say that is quite a sensible assessment.
All right.
We could quickly survey the area a little bit and survey within the building, and if there's nothing there, to find, then I say we return to the mountain. Oh, excuse me, to the mine post haste.
We all.
All right.
We all leave
Whoever's going to be leading the way there, I'll need a survival check from to avoid getting lost in the snow and woods of
As we
this
turn
mountain.
away from the mine foreman and his assistant and walk towards it, a snow maiden comes down from the mountain that we don't see and grabs both of them and swishes them away. Our backs are
Immediately.
I'll provide assistance to KO while he does survival.
All right. And I will...
Hidden Tien.
Hintien. Okay.
Oh, okay, so
Assistance.
Takeo's doing the check.
Yep, and I will
can give you
use
some skilled
Earth to
assistance.
produce.
skilled assistance from
You got 2 skilled assistants.
not from me.
All right.
So from me,
Sayuri.
Crystal and Tarek.
yeah, I have skilled
Alright.
assistance that I'm giving as well.
I have 0 survival. None.
Same.
Yay. Lots of opportunity.
Thank goodness.
I usually get
mean,
to work,
you
I just
got
kinda wander
one
around.
Oh, wow.
success.
Time to get lost in
Wow.
the snow, guys.
I will take all the opportunity not to screw up.
Hopefully he can at least realize that he doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah.
I would
that-
like a reroll,
We're
please.
now
But
magically
I know I
lost or something.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, essentially, I'm gonna use any number of opportunities not to get us lost away from the trail, or lost away from the mine.
Well, you can always follow your footprints back. So,
It's
so
true.
you,
No,
you at
doesn't
least have
cover
that
'em.
assurance, and that'll take one opportunity to realize that.
Okay.
Your one success does mean that you aren't lost per se, just you aren't finding the shed.
You aren't sure where north is.
Yeah, but like the time I was actually up in Alaska with you guys, I'm like, I have no idea where true north is. This is concerning.
We pull out
So
our compass, and we pull out the compass, and we're like, "Isn't north supposed to be that way?" And then we notice that the needle is pointing directly at the iron mine, and there's so much iron in there, and we're like, "Oh yeah, okay,
that sounds
yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Throw these away."
And you got 3 other opportunity there. I'm going to say a second one got used after an hour of tramping to realize the sun is in front of you.
So that's west.
It's still morning.
Oh, it's
It's
still
east.
morning, so that's east. My bad.
That's why
That's why we're
So
lost.
for a moment, you think it's west, and then wait, no, it's morning. That's east.
Let's
We were
take
trying
a
to
left.
go north. Why are we going east?
So Kaideko actually has something to help with this since we're lost
And you
in the
got
wilderness.
2 other opportunity left. You're not lost. You know exactly how to get back to the mine.
Right.
All right. So,
You're just not sure how to course correct and find your way to that shed.
all right. Anyway, I could probably use it to help support the next person that might want to do a survival roll.
Sure.
All right.
You use those 2 opportunities to openly and honestly go, I got no idea where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Did you
this
roll?
way is east, and the mine is right that way.
Mm-hmm. I'm quite unfamiliar with these mountains.
You're muted.
Ikoma-san, perhaps you might be willing to help me, and perhaps
And I'll
the 2 of us
try
will
to
be able
assist.
to find our way through.
I will assist as well with this.
Okay,
Yes.
so if Sayuri's giving assistance, then that is
Actually, if that's
3.
the case, I'll give assistance to Sayori.
Okay, either way, it ends up being 3 assistants because it is a support and an assistance from Matt, and then the assistance from whichever one of you is not making the roll.
Sure.
Inti, I assume.
Yep, still a
I think
hidden
I can
TN.
handle that.
It's hidden because you don't know where the shed actually is.
Hidden TN, that means I'll go ahead and spend a void point.
I should have spent a void point. That was my mistake.
And 3 assistance.
It's the ABCs
Mhm.
of
I can have
L5R.
Kaideko offer
Always
you
be
Fukuro
spending
Kunjin's
void.
wit, real quick.
Sorry,
I
what
just
did
have
you
to
say?
make a check. If you want, I can have Kaideko offer Fukuro Kujin's wit. It would just require me to make a quick fire theology check, and then you could get an extra dice. If that would be helpful, since we are already sort of not sure where we're going.
I mean, I already basically have 4 extra dice.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I was just positing. Instead of spending a void.
And also for everybody but Corey, take 1 strife from the cold.
Okay.
Because Corey has fire blessing, he does not get the strife from cold.
I'm just wearing ceremonial clothing and armor. That's probably even colder.
Hidden TN. Hopefully
Okay,
that'll
4
do
total
it.
successes, 2 opportunity.
Let's see
What would you like to use the 2 opportunity on?
opportunity.
And I am so glad I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, yeah, we're playing late into the game, but I don't mind this. It's kind of refreshing.
Can I go with movement to help us get there faster?
Yes, you may. All right. With that, you reorient based upon the direction that the foreman pointed from the mine. You know the mine's over there. Now you're here. This actually turns out to be great triangulation for you. So you're able to actually go this way. And while it is a bit of a rougher path because it's not actually a trail you're taking people on, you do arrive behind the shed. And the sight that you see behind the shed is fairly horrific. There are parts of bodies piled up by their body part type.
Oh.
Laid out
At least they're
in-
sorted.
in a 5-pointed circle with the torsos as the pile in the middle. There's at least 5 bodies here. Also, seeing off the side of the shed, there is a woman in black robes that is hanging from a tree with her guts poured out on the ground.
Oh, you got a
I
quite
wish it was a better sight, but we did find our destination.
You do have quite the gift of directional awareness.
Also give me everybody give me a sentiment check, TN1. It's not very subtly hidden, but there is something hidden in the area.
I'm gonna go void.
Sentiment.
I'll go with water to survey the area then.
Do we have a TN on that?
1.
1.
I'll go with void 2.
Man, every single one has strife. Well, I'll use the opportunity to negate 2 of them at least.
We'll just use void. Well, actually, there's no void stance.
We're not in combat.
Yeah, we're not in any type of. So you still have to take your.
Well, at the very least, I got 2 successes, and well, I already spent that opportunity.
Okay. Kenjiro got 2 successes. Sayuri got 2 successes and 2 opportunity. What would you like to use the 2 opportunity on?
I'm gonna bank one and use the other to remove 2 strife.
Fair enough. Takoro also got 2 and 1 opportunity. What would you like to use the 1 opportunity for?
I am going to use the 1 opportunity to not Ralph or be visibly upset by any of this gross stuff that's
So
happening
effectively
around
a form of removing strife when you don't have strife.
me. Well, yeah, that's true. True enough. But like this, I would assume this is a check to seek answers to an intriguing question, which is my curiosity again, which removes all my strife again. I can only do it once per scene, but it seems to be every scene here, so... So yeah, that's all of my strife. So
Keeping your composure.
Yeah. So I will use it to... this is a void thing, so maybe I can use it to... No, that'll just tell me that there is evil spirits in the area. I already know that. These are questions I know about.
Yeah, it's pretty blatantly obvious there's evil spirits here.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more prudent
Just
to ask whether the perpetrator of these crimes is nearby.
That should be our first thing to check out.
Yeah, that's going to be a regular roll. That's So I'll just make it. I'll just put it in the kitty.
All right. Takeo, you also got 2 successes and 1 opportunity. I'm assuming because of the 3 strife, you're using that opportunity to reduce that.
Yeah.
You do feel a bit queasy at all of these bodies being laid out this way.
Yeah, plus I'm also thinking that they kind of need to be burned so that way they're not used or, what's the right word?
They need to be properly buried.
Buried, yeah.
Or whatever the proper burial rituals in Lion Lands is.
Burning would not be unusual.
I forgot to ask this. As a subtle observer, which is my special ability that allows me to read lips. Also, when performing checks in which I need to spot small or see small details, I do get to reroll 2 dice. So just for future, I will be asking about that, whether this is like observing small details kind of thing.
And Keiko also got 2 successes. So congratulations. Everybody got 2 successes and 2 opportunity. What would you like to use those 2 opportunity for?
Let's see. Since we are trying to locate clues like this,
Mike to your face?
Mike, a little closer.
Since we are trying to find clues like this, would I be able to spend my opportunity to get information on in the expanded opportunity list? It gives an option, but I don't know if you allow us to use that one to gain
extra
a precise
information.
location on a supernatural occurrence. Like another supernatural occurrence, pretty much trying to follow a trail.
It's all pretty much here and overlaid on top of each other. So I'm going to say that instead, if you use it for information, I can give you something.
Yeah, let's do that then.
That's
all right.
That kind of thing that you're asking is just I folded it all into information. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
It's two opportunity. You get information.
So the way these body parts are laid out and the specific aspect that it took 5 bodies to make it and the specific orientation of it is a direct inversion of the 5 rings to cause the weather effect.
Oh, no.
This was some dark ritual that is bringing the snow.
Is there any way to reverse it?
Whoever did it is maintaining it.
Yeah.
The way to end it would be to get whoever it did it to end it or end them.
They already did the dark ritual. They got their 3 black mana, and now they're using it to create.
To create Blizzard.
Yeah.
No, to create a nightmare. By the way, Matt, the correct way to bury "quote unquote" the dead in Lionlands is to just burn the bodies.
Oh, okay. So I was kind of right on my.
You never bury bodies in Rokugan because there's a huge possibility of them raising from the dead. So you want to burn the bodies.
Yep, when zombies are a problem, you
Nobody
make
wants a
sure
hopping
there's no
vampire.
bodies.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm probably going to mention.
And from the way these bodies have been mangled, obviously whoever did this also doesn't want a hopping vampire.
So essentially, Sayuri and I are in agreement that once we probably get an identity assessment, maybe like at least keep track of like men, women, general ages who might be missing from the village, and we can give like the list back to the village elder to let them know who has passed on. We'll go ahead and burn anything that's left over here, but probably. Before that, probably we should check at least the hunter's hut or cabin first.
The two of you who did water stance for your sentiment to survey the area notice a pile of rocks leaning against part of the mountainside and kind of detect a faint breeze coming out of that pile of rocks. The ones with void, you notice the pile of rocks as well, but there is a very dark presence inside the shed.
Since I have Sixth Sense, do I sense anything else ominous around the area? Sixth Sense being an advantage that lets me instinctively sense any supernatural beings.
There is one very, very dark presence inside the shed.
Okay, then since I only had the 2 successes initially, the entire time everybody else is kind of looking around and talking about what they've located, Kenjiro is just staring at the shed warily with his Naginata in hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a bow of water.
Your spirit guides, guardians are definitely freaked out by whatever's in the shed.
Kaideko is going to cast Courage of the Seven Thunders.
Does
anybody
else
instead of
feel
having
a
to
breeze?
face the enemy, anything directly within the shed, I say we burn the shed preemptively, and then whatever runs out of it, we can just strike at it. And I say that as to KO.
I feel it's unlikely that there's much evidence of anything in there that we couldn't already see, so I'm okay with this idea.
Are there any doors or any like escape routes that we can observe in the cabin aside from like doors or windows that we can one or two of us can keep guard of?
You don't see any from the back.
Okay.
There's that pile of rocks that has air coming out of it.
Yeah, that is another thing I do want to observe. But if the others are detecting something from the cabin, I think it might be prudent to put our attention to that first.
Thank you. Does Shugenja have been casting spells?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume that Takeo took notice that you guys were focusing your attention at the cabin and were prepping something. It's like,
Kaideko looks serious, which is
a rarity.
Not screwing around.
Yeah, you see like the snow coalesce into water that forms into a giant, like basically a extra long staff in Takaro's arms.
I'm going to prepare my Nodachi as well.
And
you also can tell that because you came this way up to the shed, that you would not have seen any of these bodies if you had approached from the front.
Whew.
Not even the one hanging from the tree would have been visible from the front.
So here's
So-
the question. Who's opening the door?
I say we burn it so that way whatever comes running out would at least
Which-
have some damage done to it.
And
Make
also, which
things a little
door?
easier
The
on
pile of
us.
rocks or the shed?
The shed.
From
Like
what?
burn the shed and make sure that we deal at least some damage to whatever enemy we have within the shed. And, well, I mean, I'd say we already have enough evidence of the crimes accounted for here that we can record before we give them a proper
There is
raising.
the subtle thing, though, of where's the other 20 missing?
Possibly inside the shed or in the rocks. Those are my first two thoughts as to KO.
Well,
But if the Shugenja are concerned about what's in the shed, I don't know. I'll open the door if I have to.
I have a rules question for when I get a chance, but I think Sayuri wanted to say something first, so.
If we don't want to knock and we don't want to burn it down, we can always throw rocks at the door. That's
Wouldn't that
knocking.
alert whatever we're trying to surprise?
Oh, trust me, if
It already
they,
knows we're here.
if they have any sensory ability, then they should know that we're here. We have all done enough talking and rabble rousing at this point.
All right. Well, I'll be the first to go up against it if it runs out of the door.
I mean,
or-
out of character, Kitiko cast a spell, and that's a big, very obvious thing to do. I
Yeah.
did cast a spell too, but it's not a very obvious. I mean, if you don't have a certain amount of vigilance, suddenly just water turned into a bow in my hand. I'm very subtle with my spells.
So, rules question, because I've only ever done this once and with a lot of help. If I wanted to take time to channel a spell, that is something I can do, right? Giving me extra chances to succeed at it. Well, that is a thing that can happen.
I think so. I think the way the rules
Yes.
go on that is that you roll, you can keep so many dice, but because you're taking your time, you can re-roll the others.
No. So
No?
what happens is your first round of channeling, you can store dice equal to the amount that you keep them. So you take those dice and you put them to the side. Right? Then on your second turn, you'll roll your remaining dice again and then add in the dice that you took away.
And then of those, you can continue channeling over and over again, right?
Well, no. Channeling's...
It's only a 2-round thing?
I
Let
think you can do it
multiple
again.
times.
Yeah, I think you can go, okay, well then I'm just going to store these now and re-roll these. So I think you can do it multiple times, but I'm not 100% sure.
But you can't keep at the end more than you can keep to begin with.
Yeah, more
Okay.
than you can
Yes.
keep Coda.
Because the kind of idea that I'm having is that this is big danger, and I would like to try to channel a invocation, bind the shadow, up until the door is opened, and then use the ability on whatever is inside.
Please read out what that ability does.
Yes.
You can actually post it into the chat.
Oh, how do I
That also works.
do that?
Click it.
There's no posting things into the chat, but if everybody
Oh,
wants
really?
to see it, you just click on your compendium, you click on techniques, invocations, and then in the search bar, you search for, what's it called? Bind the
It's
shadow.
called Bind the Shadow.
And you click bind the shadow, and
There
it
you go.
should be
You
there
can
for
just press
everybody
it to the chat. I just did it.
see.
Yeah, so
Bind
it
the shadow. It's in the chat. If you look in the
Okay.
chat, it's in there.
Oh wow. you
I,
got it in the chat. How did you do that?
I want to
Just
use
click
that.
it's at the top of the button. Like if you click edit on your description or if you look at it in the invocation, there's
Oh,
a button
to
at the top that
chat.
says to chat. You just click that and
Oh,
it sends that
okay,
whole
okay.
posting into the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Clutching that little jade finger, muttering a prayer for all of our sakes.
So you move around to the front to do this.
Yeah, I would like to
So,
quietly relay my plan.
Currently
first,
ignoring the
and
pile of
then-
rocks. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the pile of rocks is something, but I don't. There's the
So-
shed and the rocks. You said the
James-
rocks
Yeah.
were giving
The,
a small
the
wind,
threat
but
is
we didn't see
definitely
that.
in the shed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said that there's an eerie presence inside the shed, and then there's air coming from the rocks. We're gonna deal with the bad thing first, and then worry about the thing that could possibly be benign. You know, that's neutral at least. So it
I'm
doesn't
kind of
like,
worried about what cut up all those corpses.
sneak up behind us and attack us from behind while we're dealing with these rocks.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to be quick. Kaideko and characters trying to be quick about this so that we don't waste too much time.
Or, you know, we could be distracted by the presence that's in the house, and then we open the door in the shack, and then there's like a giant Oni that pops out of the rocks. Rock Oni, rah!
Just a whole bunch of snakes that are for some reason not affected by the cold.
We have been playing
Yeah.
for 3 hours, and a combat's going to take a bit. So, do we want to stop here? Is the question.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, well...
Can we
Kenjiro-
hold over the divinations I did for the next session only because sad face?
Sayuri and Kenjiro, yes.
Okay,
Matt's already used his.
Kenjiro will circle around to the front of the house with...
We're
Try to
done.
go
You
if
can't
that's where
circle
they're
that.
going.
Wait till next week.
Okay, all right.
Experience points.
This was a good long session with lots of role play. I'm going to go ahead and be generous and say 3 points for everyone.
Ooh, nice.
All right. I got 10 saved XP. 11. No. It should be 90. I got 10 saved XP. I'll do something cool with that. Do we get any hogs from this?
Oh, honor, glory, and status.
Hold on to your butt.
Hold on to your hogs.
Um,
I already am.
Kenjiro gets 2 honor for warding the village.
Warding the village?
Mm-hmm.
Any note for being the first to introduce the rest of the cast to the village elder? I know it was expected, but yeah, when you mentioned it, I'm like, I think I'll
didn't
introduce myself.
us. You introduced yourself and then said I'll let everybody else introduce themselves. You did not introduce us.
Where?
No, who was it that between the twins that introduced the other brother?
It was Kenjiro.
I never introduced myself. Never did.
All right. Well, then add 1 more honor for Kenjiro because you took the time to introduce someone else.
I was trying to get Crystal to introduce everybody when everybody was like bowing, and that was the appropriate time to do that.
I was literally about to say it, and then Sasha stepped in, and since she's technically in charge of the mission, I was like, okay, it should be her.
I'm obtuse.
Fair enough.
So good
You're supposed to
session,
be
everybody.
courtier.
I kind of feel like it's going to be 2 more, probably, of this.
Okay. All right.
Is excited.
I
Hey,
am happy.
I hope everybody.
We're all gonna die.
I hope everybody has been enjoying this. I guess I've got to make a different. Call this adventure something different than Blood of the Lioness. It's no longer Blood of the Lioness. We've moved past that. I'll get
Yeah,
some new.
but it's the Coda.
It's the what?
Coda.
The
A literary term for a thing that isn't an epilogue, but is an addition to the story that has nothing to do with the main story.
All right. Is that CODA?
CODA.
CODA.
I'll just call it the Coda. And I'll get a picture of a snow maiden and put it up for our thumbnail.
Mhm.
Hey,
Wrath of the Snow
Picture of a
Maiden.
coda.
There is a good one from 4th edition. I found it on the wiki. Easy.
so hey, everybody who watched us, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. If you watch this video all the way through, you obviously liked it, hit that like button, subscribe. We do this every Saturday. From Tarek, Sasha, James, Crystal, Matt, my name's Corey. Wishing you all the best and go roll some dice.